Okay, first you want to look at this and try to figure out what's going on. Here we have 3 groups of 1, here we have 3 groups of 2, here we have 3 groups of 4. So one way to think about it is 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 4, 3 times 8, 3 times 16. And then if you look at that, this is at 4 minutes. 16 is 4 squared. This is at 3 minutes. 8 is not 3 squared, so thinking of that as 4 squared didn't help. But if we think of this as 2 to the 3 times, 1 is the same as 2 to the 0. 2 is 2 to the first, 4 is 2 to the second, 8 is 2 to the third, 16 is 2 to the fourth. Then for the nth term, we would have 3 times 2 to the n. Or another way to think about it is just there were 3 dots here. If we times that by 2, there's 6. If we times that by 2, there's 12. If we times that by 2, there's 24. If we times by 2, that's 48. So to get the next one, we would times 48 by 2 and get 96. So if we try our formula here to get the 5th term, 3 times 2 to the 5th would be 3 times 32, which equals 96. So we see that both methods get the same result. So assuming that the sequence continues in the same way, the number of dots at 5 is 96. A recursive formula means it uses the previous term. So this started to define it, and that was the timesing by 2 each time. So if we started at f of 0 equaling 3 dots, so at the beginning we had 3 dots, at the beginning we had 3 dots. So then, to get the next term, you just take 2 and multiply it by the previous number of dots. That's a recursive formula. The explicit formula is the formula that can stand on its own. To get the number of dots in the nth term, that's our formula that we don't need to know the previous amount to make it work. 3 times 2 to the n. Homework examples. 5 to the 4th is 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, which equals 25 times 25, which is 625. 25 times 25, that's a shortcut. This is read the opposite of 5 squared, so the opposite of 5 squared, which is negative 25. This is read negative 5 squared, which is negative 5, multiplied by negative 5, which is positive 25. So you always want to be careful with these. This way we do not square the negative, this way we do. On this one, we want to solve for w, so we're going to distribute, so we get 7w minus 28. Minus 18 plus 6w, because a negative 3 times a negative 2 is a positive 6. Here the negative 3 times a positive 6 was the negative 18. Now I'm going to gather up like terms. So I'm going to subtract 5w And then 7W minus 5W is 2W, plus 6W is 8W. Then I'm going to combine these. Negative 28 and negative 18 is negative 48. Nope, negative 46. So now we can add 46 to both sides. 8W equals 46 take away 8 is 38. Divide by 8. W equals, reduce that fraction, and we get 19/4. Oh, sorry, wrote off the page. Okay, and the last problem, let's see if I can't get this a little better. 5W minus 20/3, 5 times 4 is 20, and then 1 times 3 is 3. 2W minus 2 times 2 is 4, 1 times 5 is 5. Combine like terms. (5W) take away 2W is 3W. Negative 4/5 and positive 20/3, we need a common denominator, which will be 15. 5 times 3 is 15, so 4 times 3 is 12, so negative 12/15. 3 times 5 is 15. 20 times 5 is 100. So 100/15 take away 12/15 is 88/15. Then we would want to divide by 3, but since this side is a fraction, instead of dividing by 3, we will times by 1/3, which is the same as dividing by 3. 1/3 times 3 equals 1. And we get W equaling 88/45. And we're done.